In this video, we're going to talk about the most important and most fundamental question when it comes to getting customers from social media. Why is it that you, as a professional electrician, a guy with tons of experience, tons of completed projects, great reviews, and probably better than your competition, still can't rely on one simple Facebook ad? Something like, thinking about a home renovation? Call us today to get started. And expect it to just work. We're going to talk about why this kind of Facebook ad will almost always lead to a huge waste of your advertising dollars and why you need a sales funnel instead. More importantly, we'll talk about the strategy behind a successful sales funnel on social media. Let's start with the basics. What is a sales funnel? Think of it as a magic marketing tool that turns your advertising dollars straight from your credit card into real paying customers. Imagine you had a magician and every time you gave him, say, $300, he handed you a customer. Let's say a homeowner who is ready to hire you for a full renovation. He works 24/7, doesn't take holidays, and always charges the same amount. Pretty amazing, right? That $300 you pay to get a customer is called your CAC, Customer Acquisition Cost. It's a key marketing metric. How much you are spending on marketing per customer. If your CAC is, let's say, $10,000, it's probably not profitable for an electrician. Sure, there are industries that can afford that, luxury real estate, private jets, yachts, but for you that number would be a problem. So one of the biggest goals of building a sales funnel on social media is to make sure your CAC turns your marketing into a money-making machine, not a cash-eating monster. And if your funnel is profitable, well, then it's one of the most powerful tools in your business. Because the only thing stopping you from using that magician over and over again is how many team members you have to do the work. And fun fact, you can also create a sales funnel to hire electricians too. So now imagine a second magician, and every time you give him $4,000, he hands you a qualified electrician to join your team. Pretty cool, right? Let's get into the fundamentals. Here is what you should know about social media ads. All Facebook users can be divided into three main groups. The first group is TB, today's buyers, people who are ready to buy today. The second group is FB, future buyers, they will buy later. And the last group is AGB, ain't gonna buy, people who will never buy no matter how many ads you show them. And if you have been running ads for a while, you probably already know that AGB makes up like 99% of people. Let's start with the TB group, today's buyers. But before we move on, I want to share 3 quick stories from my old life. They're super helpful to explain the point. The first story is, my friend's wife asked him to take a picture of a bag of Chinese tea and send it to her. 15 minutes later, he opened Facebook and saw ads for online Chinese language courses. The second story is, I was having dinner with a friend. At some point I just said the word Greece. My phone was with me on the table. Later I opened YouTube and guess what I saw? Want to buy real estate in Greece? And the last story is, I typed the phrase solar panels on my computer, not even on Facebook. Now my Facebook feed is filled with solar panel ads. Like 40 different companies are trying to sell me solar panels. 3 of them on YouTube and 1 even showed up in Gmail. So back to today's buyers. This is the space with the most competition and the most expensive ads. It's also where the least amount of money is, because not that many people are ready to buy right now. This is exactly where platforms like HomeAdvisor and Angie operate. If you have used them, you already know how competitive they are. If you don't respond immediately, 5 other electrical contractors will easily steal your leads. Google Ads also target today's buyers. If you have been using Google Ads for the past few years, you have probably noticed that they are becoming more and more expensive every year. 10 years ago, it was relatively easy to get customers with Google Ads. Today, the competition is intense. Every electrical contractor uses Google Ads on a daily basis. FB future buyers is a completely different story. Let's take one person who is renovating their home today. There are 7 more who will start next week, 30 more in the next month, and 90 more in the next 90 days. So not only is FB the group with the most money, it's also the group with the least competition, meaning the ads are way cheaper. Now, of course, I can't give you exact numbers, it depends on your area, your service, all of that, but let's say you are paying $20 for a lead, someone planning a renovation in the next 90 days. Let's just call him John for the example. That's pretty normal, and in some cases it can be even cheaper. Now imagine spending $1,000 on Facebook ads and getting 50 leads like John. And each one of them is going to spend at least $5,000 on electrical work. I mean, it would be really hard to turn down such a deal, right? In that regard, Facebook ads really do work like a stock market. You can buy stocks when they are overpriced because everyone is buying, or you can buy them when they are underpriced when no one is paying attention yet. And that's why social media ads are so powerful if you use them correctly. They let you reach future buyers when no one else is paying attention, and the cost is super low. Google Ads cannot do that, Home Advisor cannot do that, only social media can. Just to give you an example of how big this time gap could be, one general contractor saw my Facebook ad in March, and he hired my client, an electrical contractor, for his next new construction project in October. And shortly after that, in less than a couple of weeks, he hired my client again for another project. And here is the answer to why you can't use direct sales pitches on social media, like that example ad I showed you at the beginning of this video. Today's buyers will not buy because of insane competition, and future buyers will not engage with that kind of ad because they are not ready to buy yet. And that's where a sales funnel comes in, because it works in a completely different way. A sales funnel has multiple steps, and the first step is not to sell, that's actually the last step. The first step in any decent social media sales funnel is to collect as many leads as possible. People like John, those who are going to buy later. The most effective way to do that is with video ads. But don't freak out, okay? You don't need to be a professional actor, you don't need a pretty face, and you definitely don't need to be a filmmaker to create a great 45-90 second video ad. All you need is a smartphone, you don't even need a fancy camera. What you need is a video ad that positions you as an authority, a professional electrician who knows what he is doing, an expert. The worst thing you can do is create an ad that positions you as a salesman. And guess what kind of ads make you look like a salesman? Ads with pretty faces and perfect smiles. Ads with loud music. Ads made with professional video cameras. So it's kind of a reverse effect here. The more polished your ad looks, the less trustworthy it is. Because believe me, people are not stupid. When they see sleek ads with loud music and white teeth, it's a huge red flag. They immediately think marketing costs must be insane. And guess who is paying for that? Me. On the other hand, when people see a regular person talking honestly to a camera, it feels natural, it feels real. Like you're not trying to trick anyone, you're just being honest. And to create a really good lead generation video ad, all you have to do is share some helpful tips. tips on how to save money, tips on how to avoid unnecessary expenses, tips on how someone who is not an electrician can spot low-quality electrical work, like how to tell the difference between a handyman and a real expert, tips on how to avoid scams, like electricians who charge for expensive materials but use the cheapest ones behind the customer's back. Any tip that helps your potential customers live better, that's a good ad idea. And if you're truly an expert, creating a video like that should be super easy for you. The best part is you can say whatever you want. For example, here is an actual ad. Why you should never use a zinc roof holder on a copper roof? Because of galvanic corrosion. Most handymen don't even know that. So let's say you make an ad like 3 things you should know before renovating your home. Now imagine John, the same guy who is planning a renovation in 90 days, comes across this ad. The chances that he presses play on that ad are way higher than if we showed him a direct sales pitch. Because all he has to do is watch. He is not committing to anything. I mean, the worst thing that could happen to him is that he wastes 90 seconds of his life watching some random guy on the internet. But isn't that exactly what everyone on social media does, right? What happens after John sees our ad? He keeps scrolling through social media as if nothing happened. I mean, what do you expect from someone planning a home renovation in 90 days? He is not ready to buy yet. He is not going to call you or request a free estimate. He might not even visit your website or social media page. The tricky part, that's exactly what we want him to do. Why? Because the magic lies within Facebook's algorithms, which track people who watch our video ads. Later, we can retarget John with more ads. It's like an exchange. John gets free tips and you get his contact information. That way, we can easily access it whenever we need. That's why it's called the sales funnel, because to find people like John, you have to filter through thousands of random Facebook users. Remember the AGB group, those who are never going to buy. Home renovation is not something people do every week, right? For most people, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. The next step in our sales funnel is simple: remind people you exist. So when the time is right, they call you, not your competitor. If you only run one lead generation ad, people will forget you fast. The best way to remind people about yourself is by running multiple retargeting ads that show you or present you from different angles. It's like politics. Some people vote for certain political candidates because they promise to cut taxes, others vote because they promise better healthcare, and some vote because they believe their candidate shares the same strong family values they do. Every group has its own reasons for supporting a particular political candidate. Your job in step 2 is not just to stay top of mind, but also to build a real connection with your future customers. So when FB turns into TB, they choose you. Let's now give a better definition. A sales funnel is a magic marketing tool that turns strangers, people who don't know you, into people who know you, like you, and trust you. I mean, again, politics. Some people genuinely trust certain political candidates even though they have never met them in their entire lives. And that's exactly what you want to achieve on social media. And here are some simple ways you can build that trust quickly. Share even more useful tips. Make more than one video. Show your portfolio. Take photos or record a quick walkthrough of a completed job. Share customer testimonials. Record a short interview with your clients. Talk about the benefits people will get by working with you. For example, if you sell solar panels, explain how people will save money on electric bills. Tell your story. Talk about your company, your mission, your values. Do good, donate work to a charity, or support a local cause. One of my clients helped protect a 1,000-year-old tree from lightning strikes. Go live. Once a week, go on Facebook Live. Let people ask you anything. Host webinars. Around 70% of all sales happen during webinars. They are super effective. And the best part, you can say whatever you want. Create 10, 20, even 30 different retargeting ads based on those ideas. Most electricians run 1 or 2 ads. You can run 20. Retargeting ads are super cheap too. You are not showing them to random AGB people, you are only showing them to your leads. If your lead generation ads cost $20 to $100 a day, depending on your goals, retargeting ads typically cost $1 a day. The final step in your sales funnel is limited time offers. They are how you motivate people to buy. Creating a great LTO, limited time offer, is a topic for another video, but here is the short version. You can say something like, the first 5 people who buy through this Facebook ad will receive a 10% discount. That's how you drive sales. You can also use these limited time offers at the end of your live sessions, webinars, or any ads you run. Lastly, let's talk about timing and budgeting because it is important. If you build a sales funnel today, nothing will happen right away. You can't force John, who is planning a renovation in 90 days, to do it today, right? But if you let the sales funnel run for a few weeks, future buyers slowly turn into today's buyers, and you'll see a gradual increase in sales. If you keep it running for a couple of months, you'll see a bigger increase. In that sense, Facebook ads are like real estate, they appreciate in value over time. But you have to be ready, mentally and financially. You may need to spend a couple $1,000s and wait a few months before you see your first real results. If you don't have the patience or the budget, it's better not to advertise on Facebook at all. Personally, I use the Facebook ad library to spy on companies that are doing it right. I keep a list of all the electrical contractors who run great lead generation ads and great retargeting ads with limited time offers. Just to give you my overall impression of how many companies do this right, it's about 1%. At best 1 in 100, if not even fewer. So honestly, FB space has almost no competition. There is nothing stopping you from becoming a 7-figure electrical contractor. If this message resonates with you, shoot me an email and let's talk. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.